A Kent family of 4 now spends over £1,750 a year on household energy. In Texas, the same energy use would cost under £1,000. In Beijing, around 400. Britain sits on oil, gas, wind, and nuclear capability, yet charges its own people some of the highest energy prices on the planet. Something has gone badly wrong, and the explanation has almost nothing to do with physics or geography. This is part 1 of our investigation into what is really driving Britain's energy costs. In 2024, the UK paid over £1 billion in total constraint costs. That is money paid to generators, either to stop producing electricity or to fire up reserve capacity, because the grid could not balance supply and demand. Over £1 billion, not to generate power, but to manage a system that cannot cope with what it already has. Now, you'll hear politicians say wind and solar are the cheapest forms of energy, and on paper, they are. But those figures only measure the cost at the source. They don't include the backup gas plants sitting idle waiting for the wind to drop. They don't include the billions in new cables to connect offshore wind farms. And they certainly don't include those constraint payments we just talked about. Here is what households actually pay right now. Britain, 27 pence per kilowatt hour. France, 24 pence, thanks to nuclear. The United States, 14.5 pence. China, under 8 pence. Russia, under 3. A British household pays nearly twice what an American family pays, more than 3 times the Chinese rate, almost 10 times what consumers in Russia are charged. Only Germany comes close to matching our prices. Reason 1. We are hooked on gas prices. Even with all those wind turbines spinning, natural gas still sets the electricity price for most of the day, and Britain has run down its gas storage to a negligible 6% of annual demand. Germany stores 27%, France, 30%. We are one cold winter, or one pipeline disruption, away from a price spike every single year. Reason 2. A significant slice of your bill is policy costs. Green levies, the warm home discount, supplier obligations, network charges for connecting remote wind farms. Add it all up, and roughly 13% of a household electricity bill goes on things that are not actually electricity. These costs hit poorer households hardest, a regressive tax, dressed up as environmental responsibility. Third, the market is rigged against you. Even when wind is generating power at almost zero cost, you still pay the gas price. That's how the system works. The most expensive plant running at any given moment sets the price for everyone. A reform called REMA is supposed to fix this. It's years away. And fourth, the infrastructure bill is staggering. National Grid estimates £58 billion over the next decade, just for the grid transformation. Guess who picks up the tab? Look at France. Same continent, similar standard of living, but their nuclear-dominated grid delivers electricity at roughly 30% less than we pay. Whatever you think about nuclear, the French model proves one thing beyond argument. Baseload nuclear gives consumers cheaper power than our gas-dependent muddle. Now think about what this means for Kent. Our farmers, our food processors, our remaining manufacturers, they all compete against international rivals, paying a fraction of our energy costs. Every penny added to the kilowatt-hour chips away at their margins. Every price rise makes it harder for a Kent business to compete with someone in Shanghai or Houston. But here is the question nobody in Westminster wants to ask. When we build a gas power station, we buy turbines from competing international manufacturers. We buy fuel from global commodity markets where dozens of countries compete. No single nation holds us hostage. When we build a wind farm, the picture changes completely. The turbines, overwhelmingly Chinese. The rare earth minerals, Chinese-controlled. The supply chain from raw material to finished product. One country holds nearly every link. That is not a shift from dirty energy to clean energy. It is a shift in who holds the power, not electrical power, but strategic power over nations that depend on imported technology for their most basic infrastructure. In part 2, we put hard numbers on exactly what that shift means. 2 scenarios, 8 countries, 50 years. The results are not what the green energy lobby wants you to see. I am Angela Gray. Thanks for watching. Full story at kentlocalnews.co.uk.